On 1, 2, 3, and 4.
From the island, but he married a city gal. He head get swing by the way she look, but his gal don't cook. Now the only thing they eating is from the fast food scene. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, and junk food in between. Oh boy, Tommy, 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 Tommy. Oh boy, Tommy. Now the only time he get good food is when he go back home.
Stew fish and potato bread
when he go down home.
Sheep tongue sauce with Johnny cake
when he go back home.
Green pigeon peas with yellow grits
when he go down home.
Boy, I could handle some old crab and rice now. With some of brother's steamed fried barracuda, or some of granny chicken foot sauce with some homemade bread. Boy, I'll put a clicking on that.
Monday, Kentucky. Tuesday, the Mac. Wednesday, check out the King. Thursday, the Shack. Friday, they eat with Dave. Saturday, Chinese. Sunday, if all goes well, pizza or the bell. Now the only time he get good food is when he go back home.
Stew fish and potato bread
when he go down home.
Sheep tongue sauce with Johnny cake
when he go back home.
Green pigeon peas with yellow grits
when he go down home.
You know them island people always making something sweet, like cassava bread, mango duck, coconut or pineapple tart, soursop ice cream. Make you want to eat your fingers off, buddy. What?
Now Tommy weight double, he got pressure and sugar too. Fast food ain't cheap, he gotta pay rent and he can't save a cent. So Tommy decided before he get heart attack, he going down to the island and he ain't coming back. Oh boy, Tommy, 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 Tommy. Oh boy, Tommy. Now the only time he get good food is when he go back home.
Stew fish and potato bread
when he go down home.
Sheep tongue sauce with Johnny cake
when he go back home.
Green pigeon peas with yellow grits
when he go down home.
Yeah, Tommy finally figured this thing out. Them people selling fast food for their wealth, not his health.
Boy, Tommy should have known something was wrong from the get-go. By the wedding gift Nelly pick out. No pot, no pan, not even kettle to boil water. No china set, no cutlery. I serious? All she pick out was clothes and shoes and jewelry and things. You know, their apartment she was well not even have kitchen, cause the onlyest thing in it is microwave. And she just hardly use that. Tommy say, the first time he mentioned breakfast, she say, boy, you got 99 cents? Well, honey, you better make that $1.98 so you can get one for yourself too. That boy ain't know the last time he eat on a china plate with knife and fork. All the time now is styrofoam, paper plate, plastic cup, or greasy bag from the roach coach. You see why he going back to the island. Now granny them may not have nothing fancy, but eating off sea grape leaf better than that. Now poor Tommy say he wife did more rather fast food, but he did more rather down home cooking. You know, somebody really should have tell Nelly that the way to keep a man's heart is still through his belly.
Some of them city people like to turn up their nose at island food, like cassava, sweet potato, old yam, and dry pumpkin, and old hard roast corn. That's why granny them so strong, 90 years old and still working in the field from before they clean. Down home food and home cooking. Now you see why Tommy wants some of that? What is that, boy?
Tommy want good food
used to hear the older men talking by the bar. They talk about the things they did when they were young and strong, and how things are better now than it was before. I didn't understand what they meant back then. I'm a little older now, I think I comprehend when they say age ain't nothing but a number. You're just as old as you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I do is twice as sweet, just like wine. All the time, champagne, my name, caviar, from afar, candy, brandy. Oh, sounding good, sounding good. Let's go count, let's go count. Come on, let's go.
I just can't understand some people, I am told. They live their life from day to day, thinking about getting old. Stay young, stay strong, live happily. Then you'll be guaranteed to look sexy like me. It doesn't matter how the days may come and go. It's all about the way you feel, so I've got to let you know. Age ain't nothing but a number. You're just all that you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything I do is twice as sweet, just like wine. All the time, champagne, my name. I'm so young, feeling fine. 6 young girls, all the time.
Oh, sounding good, Fred, you're sounding good, babe.
Ay, ay, ay.
About the things I did, and I want to do some more.
Even though my set may change, my hair turn a little white, I take one day at a time and I party every night.
It doesn't matter how days may come and go, it's all about the way you feel. I'm here to let you know that age ain't nothing but a number. So what if I ain't got no teeth? The reason why I move a little slower, I got corn on top of both my feet, but just like wine,
all the time,
champagne, my name, caviar, from afar, candy, brandy, marshmallow, jello, sugar time, all the time. Slower now, a little bit slower now. You know I can't go too fast, because I want it to last. Yes, indeed.
All the time, carry on. What's my name? Champagne.
The native women start to row, hear them calling these bad names now. You didn't you get for nothing with your dicky head, you gotta sleep on the floor, you ain't got no bed. I knew them long time, them people is mine. The women are fine as long as you stay in line.
I have
a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.
Glory! My. Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus. Thank God for being here. I thank God for being here. I thank God for being here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation with Howard Grant jamming with you on this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. You see, got a little Christmas decoration. That's too high, eh? We got to pull it back. We got to fix it to pull it in the short. Must be too high. Guys, it's a beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to be here with you as we continue to be able to jam and tell you about where we are and what we're doing out here in the city, in the land of the living. Always good to be with you. Today is December 1st, 2025. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. My birthday. Come again. You gotta play some puzzle. See, find puzzle and play some puzzle for me. It's my birthday. And grateful to be here with you guys. Grateful to jam on this beautiful day. Always, guys, if you're celebrating a birthday, who cares? It's my birthday. I'm just being decent with you, right? It's my birthday. Let's see, Mama. You know, I think every year we find ourselves in this kind. Well, me, I find myself in this position where I have to be even grateful, even more grateful, especially this year with my cousin passing away and everything like that. I continue to be able to, to think about it. I continue to think about it. Hold on. I don't know why this ain't playing. Hold on, let me see something. You got it?
It's getting done. Say what? What you mean it's my birthday again already? You mean to tell me there's a whole year that's passed?
Playlist.
But I'll be. Listen. First thing what I can do, get on my knees and thanking you, Lord. God, you brought me through a rocky road.
Oi.
Last year I was so scared, crashed my car and almost dead. I even break my leg, but I am still here to see that my birthday. Come again, my birthday. Come again, my birthday. Come again. How old am I now? My birthday. Come again, my birthday. Come again, my birthday. Come again. So I can party all night. Break and strip, it's Bahamian. Break and strip. My birthday, break and strip.
Hey, we gotta keep this in.
Yeah, man, come here.
It's my birthday.
Break and strip. Man, this Bahamian, break and strip.
I want to thank all of you who wish me happy birthday. Got tons of them. 12 a.m. this morning. 12 a.m. Persons will hit me up, tell me happy birthday. All of my Facebook friends, people I haven't heard from in so long, hit me up, say happy birthday. I got some fellows who working for me. They tell me it's happy birthday. You know what I mean? I'm grateful. Grateful to be here, guys. December 1st, 1981, I came into the world. I am grateful to be here. My mother said that she was in labor with me for 52 hours. I didn't come out the traditional push. No. 52 hours they had to take me from her. Praise God. I'm grateful to be here. I'm 44 years old today. And I want to thank God for the opportunities that He's given me to be here in this space, in the land of the living. It's going to be shoot straight with you. You know, sometimes we wrap ourselves up with so much things and how things are and how things aren't and so forth and so on. I'm just grateful to be here in the land of the living. God is always good. And for the purpose that He's given us, I pray that all of us apply ourselves accordingly and we rid ourselves of the mold of doubt. That seed of doubt has been placed in our lives, stopping us from getting to the place that God has us to be, has called us to be. And so I want to be able to talk to you about that. I want to encourage you on my birthday, on your birthday, as we wrap up the year. We got another 30 days to go. A lot of our brothers and sisters aren't here. Persons have passed away. We continue to be able to pray for you and pray for those persons who've passed away. Guys, another day, another dollar, being able to do all that we can do, just talk about the stuff that we're talking about. I want to thank you. I want to thank Dr. Dwayne Sands for giving me a shout out for a happy birthday. I kid. I tell him, I say, oh, I didn't know you was going to. I say, it's a pleasant surprise. I thought y'all was busy cussing me. He said, no, our things were well ventilated. We're done doing that. We're done. And I'm grateful. Let's just continue to be able to move forward. So I thank you and thank all those persons who tell me happy birthday. It's a warm feeling. Let's talk about these things, guys. What's been going on over the weekend? Some stuff in the papers. The Prime Minister is here being able to talk to you about the fact that he's won. And I think that it's important that we just be able to highlight that. And hey, listen, we won. I mean, what you talking about? We're done. I see Belinda's in the paper this morning being able to talk about the fact that they have decided upon being able to go to a vote. I think only 12.2% of our voting populace has indicated that they don't want to go to a strike. And another 80-something percent. Let me get those numbers properly. I read the story. Yeah, the workers being able to do those things is 92% supporting her for the strike vote, right? And so we just, I don't know. I mean, I look at this and I don't know what to make of this. What do you make of this? What do you make of this particular posture and this concept, this idea of being able to do this? I feel like there's a level of strategy involved. Can I say that? I feel like there's a level of strategy involved. And why do I say that? It's because if you look at this, you identify this, you can be able to make a determination and see that it feels like it's falling in line. It feels like it's falling in line. And I don't disagree with Belinda. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this, but I'm saying that the government now is rolling from one fight to another. And I guess that's how it's have to be. I read some stuff that anyway, I wouldn't tell you what I read. Members of the Bahamas Union Teachers have agreed to take industrial action after raising concerns over the salary increases that were long promised by the Davis administration and paid out last week. BUT President Belinda Wilson said yesterday that the internal poll was taken, and 87.8% internal poll was taken. And 87.8% of the members indicated that they agree. That was what I was looking for. The 12.2% is that they disagree. Right? 87.8% indicated that they agree Hold on, guys. Let me just get this thing open here. With taking industrial action and 92% supporting the strike vote, a president and executives of the BUT will advise the members on the way forward. This is what Belinda said. And she said that the BUT and the Bahamas Public Servants Union have been at odds with the government for some time now over the pledges of pay raises for public servants. Prime Minister Davis promised in June that the public service across all levels would receive their increase by September. We know that didn't happen. However, tensions came to a boiling point in October where Davis advised the delayed payments would be made in December. He didn't say in December. He said by December. Okay? We made in December. Leading members of both unions to take their take to the streets to protest. There were some attempts, I guess I feel like I need glasses today. There were some attempts at the negotiations, but Davis maintained that the increases would come before Christmas. That's what he said. He said last week, when the payments were made, Wilson described them as crumbs. That's what she did say that. She said, noting that some teachers receive nothing while others receive increases between 150 to 341. On Friday, the response to Wilson, the Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latre, defended the increased amounts, noting that they should be viewed in isolation. Not viewed in isolation, but rather in the context of the Davis administration's broader commitment to equity within the public sector. That was a peculiar response. I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to say. All right. Wilson, however, has maintained that the union is displeased and disappointed. Right? The Prime Minister has taken on this kind of a position also, indicating that he's disappointed himself. We can be able to read that story and talk to you about those particular things. The Prime Minister said that he is disappointed in the fact that after this is something that he's done. This is the second story right here. Davis says that he's disappointed by the BUT. This is on the second page. We're reading the Nassau Guardian today. Where I stopped, they don't have the Tribune, so I'm so sorry. I'm going to get the Tribune though, right? So he says that the Prime Minister, Brave Davis, on Friday expressed his disappointment in the Bahamas Union of Teachers, which was considering a strike vote over dissatisfaction with respect to the long-promised salary increases. He said, I'm disappointed. This is the Prime Minister's indicator. He says, I'm disappointed that they are not satisfied. This is what David says. The increases are something that I gave to them. And he maintains this kind of position. He maintains this. He maintains this kind of a posture that says that I gave this to them. This is nothing that was that there was no obligatory posture. There was no negotiated position. This is something that I gave to them. Now listen, during this row, during this back and forth, during this kind of a conversation, the fact of the matter is that Belinda Wilson would have been able to give us indications that she's made recommendations for this significant increase from some time. And so she would say that's foolishness in so many words, or maybe in those exact words. But she would say that's foolishness. We made recommendations for him to be able to make this increase from some time ago. The Prime Minister sticking to his guns and steadfast, his administration and those persons that continue to be able to envelop him, those persons around him, they continue to be able to say the exact same thing. Now, what they're saying is that the Prime Minister, this was not an obligation. The Prime Minister made this a mandatory position from his posture, his position, like the Prime Minister would say, from his heart. Belinda says, that's foolishness. These are the recommendations that we've made. And she would assume that he's making those recommendations. Peculiar enough, simultaneously, while Belinda was taking on this kind of a posture and position to talk about what her recommendations were and her expectations that the government would be able to follow those particular recommendations, we would have heard from John Pinder. John Pinder himself would have said that I myself, when I was in this particular capacity, would have made recommendations, and those recommendations, this was a part of those recommendations also. Now, Belinda say, I tell him to do this. I tell the government this is what needs to be done, and they're supposed to follow those recommendations accordingly. I did this. The Prime Minister said that no matter what nobody tell you, I did this from my heart. And then we had John Pinder coming on, who's on the outskirts now, and he opposes in many respects, in the respect of his political posture, he opposes the government. So he doesn't have, in my view, as I'm looking at this, he doesn't have a horse in the race. There's nothing to gain by him being able to do this other than honesty. And with honesty, he's saying, I made those recommendations. I took on this posture. I took on this position. This is what it is. And that's what it is. And so we see this, and you see the Prime Minister taking on this position and said, I'm disappointed. And then he says that the increases are something that I gave to them, and they will have an opportunity during the course of the negotiations for the new industrial agreement to raise those issues there. He says that was not a matter that was negotiated by them. It was something that I did for them. This is what the Prime Minister is saying to you. Prime Minister say, you ain't asked me for this. I give this to you. This is something I did for you. Now you're cussing me. And you're getting on strike because you expect more. The Prime Minister is indicating that when you have an opportunity to be able to go back to the negotiation table, then you take on that posture, that position, and you state what your position is. However, this is something that the Prime Minister said that he's released to you. I don't know why we would question that. I don't know why we would question that. You understand? I don't know why we would question that. And you know, I feel like this is an increasing in this country at this time, at this juncture. In this country at this time, there's an increasing disregard and irreverence for the authority that exists. Increasingly. And I say that because sometimes I feel like I'm adding to the fray. I don't exclude myself from this. I know about decorum. I know about the importance of being able to identify those in authority in your country. I understand. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think I push back against these things sometimes. So I'm not excluding myself from this. But I'm saying to you, there has been an increase locally, internationally, globally, with this disdain and disregard for authority that exists here. And I feel like there's a reciprocity in that relationship, because what we heard Trump say the other day. Did you watch the interview? Trump called a woman stupid. You're stupid. I just told you, are you stupid? You know why you asked that question? Because you're stupid. Whoa. There is a level of disrespect that is going back and forward between leadership and its people. And no one's saying, ho, wait. Let's see if we can be able to get a hard reset and understand the importance of how do we communicate and, converse with our brothers and sisters. None of this is happening. None of this is happening. This is crazy. As I look at it, as I see these particular things, the way that we see the Prime Minister being treated, and I don't know, maybe because I like the Prime Minister, that I expect us to be able to deal with him with kiddy gloves. Not necessarily kiddy gloves, but deal with him with a level of respect for his posture and his position, right? And then I think about Hubert Ingram and how I went off the handle with him on many occasions. I don't know. I mean, I could justify why I said what I said to the former Prime Minister. I could justify it. I'm sure Belinda and anyone else who's taken on the very strong position against the Prime Minister, our current Prime Minister, could be able to justify it. But I always like to be able to punctuate my rant with a level of respect to see whether or not we can bring it back to center. You know what I mean? I got to tell the Prime Minister he's wrong for calling Harrison Thompson a liar, the former Prime Minister. And he would tell you with technicality, with the fact that he is a learned man from the law's perspective. And so he'd tell you, I didn't say that. But the insinuation, the indication, and the blanks that he left can only be filled with he is a liar. I feel like that's very wrong. I feel like it's wrong. I feel like for the purposes of being able to retain a decorum and morality, morale, right? To keep the morale high in your organization. You've taken on this kind of posture and position to be able to dismiss an entire man, his career, everything he's done, all the children he sent to school, all the house he built with his money from his professional capacity. But today, because the F&M don't have an answer for the decisions that they've made that led them to inevitability, which we all knew, which was defeat, all of a sudden, Harrison Thompson is the problem. You come on, you tell us, you passed the law. You read it in the House of Assembly. Your administration was responsible for these things. You knew that it was compounded and it was inflated for some time. You knew that. You knew that. And in the midst of knowing all of this, you still come in 2025 and call the man a liar. The man telling you, I read it, I reread it, I did this, I did that. You make it seem like he in cahoots with the government. And so I could justify why I say what I said to former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram. And I'm sure Belinda can justify the exact same posture that she's taken with current Prime Minister. But her posture has existed throughout the course of Prime Ministers. We've seen this kind of an action and posture with Perry Christie, Hubert Minnis, and Hubert Ingram. We've seen this from Belinda over the course of her leadership in these particular capacities. And so this is nothing new as it relates to character and her designed approach that she takes to be able to fearlessly advocate for her people. But the only question I have is, how do we now reintroduce decorum into this space? How do we now reintroduce the concept that it's important for us to understand how to speak to leadership? How do we do that? And when it comes to reciprocity, how do we now make leadership to understand that you will be questioned? You will be questioned. And if you're not prepared to answer those particular questions, I would prefer you to walk away. But you should not do so with a level of condescension to those persons who are asking the questions on behalf of the Bahamian people. There needs to be a decorum between us, man. There needs to be decorum. I have had issues over the past several months. I want to tell you from, I don't know, maybe March, April, with the Free National Movement. Maybe before then, because I've been getting calls. Howard, you didn't say this today, as though I own somebody ticket and they just throw me out. You understand? Oh, hey, Howard, here's your envelope. You did well this week. I don't get these things. And so I've been at it. They've been at my throat, and I've been at them in the media since about March, April. Okay? And as a result of that, a lot has gone down. I'm disappointed in them. I have great expectations, and then it's my fault. I'm too close to the fire. I grew up too close to the fire. I grew up as a participant in the organization. And as I see this is an evolution. This is devolving. Just from my perspective, in terms of what's happening from a global perspective, in terms of the expectation of being able to take the next step, just from what's happening. This is devolving. This is regression. This isn't growth. This isn't forward movement. This is a backward thing. And as I see it, and I call it out, and I speak to it with clarity about these particular things, I become the issue. I accept that. No one seeks to be able to make modifications to anything. I become the issue. And so it's a disappointing thing. And I've taken on a sharp tone with them, because if you're going to be able to seek to assassinate my character in thought, word, and in deed, and in what you have left undone, I need to be able to defend myself. And not by being able to build up my character, but lay out the facts. I've had an issue with being able to get quality persons to sit with me from the Free National Movement since that juncture. I have. And not because I lack the decorum and I don't know how to be able to host a proper interview. And not because I hate them or I have a problem. I've come to the conclusion that it's as a result of persons in the public sector not knowing how to answer questions. That's it. You don't expect to be asked certain questions. Where did that come from? Was that in the paper? So you only answer based upon what the information that comes out in the paper. You're not prepared to really have a conversation with me and let's dissect what's happening in the organization. And you're not prepared to do it with me because you know I can pull historic information out on you. Yeah, but what about this and what about that? You ain't prepared for that. You only will have a conversation for what happened over the last 6 months. That's what you're equipped for. That's what you're ready for. And so when I extend this invitation with the expectation of being able to have a very clear and respectful discourse about the posture of what's happening here, because it ain't for me, it's for the country, I'm rejected. Okay. Praise God. And the rejection ain't have nothing, it ain't a bad thing. I'm not disappointed in the rejection. What disappoints me is that you think I have to be your friend. What's disappointing to me is that you know your posture, you know your position, you know what you're going after, you know these particular things, you know all this. What disappoints me is the idea you think that we have to be friends and I have to be an ally for you to come and sit with me. And I can prove that. Look in the Tribune. Did you see the story for Hubert Ingram in the Tribune? Hold on, wait. Before I go off on the mouth, let's check. Let's check and make a determination as to whether or not this is accurate. If I speak with any level of accuracy, if I make in any sense at all. Let's go to Tribune 242. Now we're going to the Tribune 242 to find out whether or not the story that was hosted in the Guardian, that we saw on Guardian Media, that we saw in Guardian, the newspaper, whether or not it pops up in the newspaper, it pops up in the Tribune. It doesn't. It doesn't. So the only people you want to sit with and speak to is those who, assumingly, apparently, is an ally to you, that carry your agenda, that essentially carries the water for your organization. You're going to allow me to have a real conversation one of these days and stop clinching your sphincter every time I speak. Yeah. You know what your sphincter is? It's your behind. Every time I speak, you feel, whoo, whoa, 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 Howard, whoa. You're getting too far. You're going to have to be real. There ain't no way, and maybe this is where Belinda is coming from. Maybe this is the sort of the eruption and the boiling and coming to head socially of the irreverence that we're seeing here. Maybe, just maybe, it's as a result of those particular things. It's as a result of that. Just maybe. Maybe. Maybe it is because the necessity to be able to have a truthful, honest conversation is sometimes harsh and it needs to be said. We have played politics for too long. Dolly House, we've been playing this in this country for too long. You men have become nothing but absolute lion hogs, many of you. And we always seek to exclude you if you're not a lion hog. We go out of our way. We speak to your character, your personality, your this, your that, just to make people to know that you ain't a part of that fray. Other than that, you're lumped in with these people. Liars, thieves, connivers, jokers. That's what politics has become in this country. Y'all have brought this, our politics and the way that we conduct this, down to the dogs. Many of you. I don't know if it's because of greed. I don't know if it's because of ego. I don't know if it's because of lack of training and understanding. I don't think it's education. Unless you've gotten your education by letting somebody write your papers for you and you're still dumb. I don't know. But we look at you and we're disappointed, man. Because we got to have a level of honesty in this country. Everyone would rather point a finger at me and say, I'm the problem. I am the problem. If I say, well, why are you still using Hubert Ingram? I'm the problem. Why don't I shut up? I'm the problem. And we're looking at the oldest organization in the country and one of the oldest political organizations for blacks in this region. Make modifications to ensure that they incorporate youth in their capacity in everything that they do. Everything that they do, they seek to put youth at the forefront. Right now, they're deliberating, and I saw some information come to the forefront, say Luby Georges can be the senator. You know, oh Jesus, the comments going crazy. Haitian? H-Y. Hi. Haitian. There's no formality here. It's degradation. Denigration. You got to talk about it bad. Haitian. Even the Haitian no more. A Bahamian, you know. Anyway, hear that. All this PLP government gone. Luby, a young man in his 40s. There's another one, the Sante Small, I think that's a name I see popped up. Is that the name? I see James put it on his page. Let me see. I can look right now. The Asante Small. deal. I don't know her. I've never met her. I don't think. This is the level of consideration that the PLP is going to. They seek to put youth in the Senate. The PLP looking up and down for young, vibrant, youthful candidates. And they're helping guide them. Jerome Fitzgerald busting his behind, helping guide them to success. And when we look at it, the Free National Movement seems like they're taking on a different course entirely. An organization has rejected the concept and idea of youth. And there's a bunch of old men that be standing up in the line and say, well, you all think we should just give something to the young people? I've been here all this damn time. And that's a bit, shut up. Shut up. I have dreams about being in the House of Assembly. I have dreams about serving. I have dreams about the affiliation of a political organization. I've literally just literal dreams. Literal dreams. And I will not sit down and wait for a man to come and tap me on my shoulder and say, Howard, today's the day. Come give me a hug. We can do it now, eh? What? Sir, if you don't get from around me, you're going to ask me to do that while I'm on the run. While I'm making a move, while I'm developing something, while I'm doing something else. I don't have to sit down. Sit down here. Many of you men have sat down waiting for somebody to come look for you. With your eyes puffy. And you look like your puppy eyes. Oh, like you begging for something. No, man. Young people out here doing any and everything that they could possibly do to find themselves established. And the Free National Movement continues to look at yesterday. And the PLP, the oldest organization political in this country, are looking to the future. It's a time for us to be able to have a clear conversation. It's time. It may be difficult. It may be something that you don't want to do. But it's time. Maybe as we look at Belinda Wilson, she is the proverbial John the Baptist. She's the forerunner for the transformation in leadership and mindset within unions in this country. She's the forerunner. She's gone before. She's agitated. She's advocated. Her irreverence, her posture, all being able to speak to the fact that you have a voice. And I'm hoping that those sharp edges are cut off with successive leadership to understand that you don't necessarily have to be abrasive to be assertive. You don't necessarily have to be condescending to be considered. To be correct. I'm looking at this. And as I start off trying to figure out whether or not we are in the age of irreverence and being able to reject our brothers and sisters from one space to another, I think about these things and I said, when the hell are we going to get to where we're supposed to be? Maybe this irreverence will shake you up and place you into a position for you to understand. For you to be able to prepare yourself when you go on people's radio station. Not on people who lobbing things to you. I telling you, man, listen to me. Y'all can get this story piece by piece, you know. Y'all, it's up to y'all to be able to crochet it and pull it together. Piece by piece, I telling you this story about what happened with the Free National Movement and Guardian Radio when I was there. Piece by piece, I can tell you this story. I gave them a proposal. Clear proposal. And in the midst of this proposal that I gave them, I sent this over to them. They say, Howard, It's a specific gentleman now. I don't think that the party's head knew what he was saying. But when he said it, I cuss him. I asked him if he's stupid. Who do you think I is? I look stupid to you? Do you think I like man? Listen, when I mean him, and I talk to him like this. Give him the proposal, professional proposal. The proposal was associated now. I only get a percentage of what I make from Guardian. A percentage. I've always given Guardian their money. All of a sudden today, because I present this to them, Howard trying to thief all your money. That's how they do this. Anyone in the place could tell them no better than that. No Jesus, no man. Howard don't do things like that. Because he's always brought it. I brought every check, every dime people give me, I bring them. If it's for the radio station. So the guy presents to me. I presented the proposal that he asked for. I said, if you want to come on my show, I do something. I can do something on Fridays, and I'll call it this particular thing, right? This is how much it's going to cost. This is how much the show costs. The show costs $1,000 an hour. $1,000 an hour. They want 2 hours every Friday. They want it for 6 months. You tell me what the flipping math is. Simple. I gave it to them. I structure it. I do everything like that. I gave it to them. I say, if you want to do it like this. The guy says to me, he says, Howard, we will pay this right now if you sign a paper and say that you support the Free National Movement exclusively. I said, sir, I support Jesus Christ, my wife and my children exclusively. Everybody else got to pay. I said, what you think this is? Is this a game? I in this to make money. I said, I'm not running for a candidate for the FNM. I'm not doing any of that. I said, now, if you want to have a conversation about being able to reduce the rate, that's a different story. But you don't tell me and try to put me in a position where I sign this. And this is a true story. And we could go in the front of the courts and I'll say the same thing. And I got proof to show you that this is what happened. I told the people inside the Guardian, they tell me, oh, no, Howard, well, this is not like that. And Howard, you can't do a show like that. That's what they're telling me. You say, Howard, you can't do a show like that with the FNM. Oh, that's too much. Ain't nobody want to hear from the FNM that much. This is what the people telling me. Every show since, every flipping week, 5 of them in there somewhere. It speaks to affiliation. It speaks to a genuflection to be able to assist you in a position and a lob to ensure that we're in a position that we can get everything that we need if and when you become the government. Because they're leaning on mathematics now. They're leaning on the rhythm that existed since 2002. PLP, FNM, PLP, FNM, PLP. There's an expectation that FNM will get in. And so now they're chumming up, becoming very chummy with the Free National Movement. And because I take on this kind of position and said, no, are you stupid? I've become enemy number one. Unprofessional in every way, their presentation, their approach. Because they did it through the lens of familiarity. There's sort of an idea that we know Howard. His mother was a Free National Movement member. She was a member of Parliament. We got him. He will do this. Are you out of your mind, sir? It's a reverence that is existing in here. The need to get back to investigative journalism. The need to be able to get back to neutrality. The need to be able to talk with a level of truth has escaped us. There's so much we could do. But if men don't stop being soft, we can't get far. And maybe you can be soft until your death in your leadership capacity. Maybe that's the death of your leadership. Maybe that's the death of you as an individual. But the next generation must know that we need strength in leadership, that we need conviction in leadership, that we need insight, vision, articulation, and fearlessness in leadership. We don't have that now. And when you see it in the Progressive Liberal Party, I pointed out, you say to me, oh, Howard used the PLP. Listen, that doesn't even make no sense what you're saying. It makes no sense. If the Prime Minister is strong enough to stand up and walk in the midst of a roaring crowd with a smile and make a commitment, say what he had to say, double down on that, provide what he must, you're only disappointed that he didn't give you $1 million. I don't know what you wanted. But Linda asked for certain things. She got the information. Some teachers got something. Some teachers didn't get anything at all, so forth and so on. Put those lists together, send them to the, why haven't these persons gotten anything? There's persons that work for this, and that, and this is what our job's supposed to be. Not being able to present with emotion, but present with a calm head, clarity, and a desire to be able to get to a point with information that we have. We lose in our country. We lose in our leaders. We losing, man. And we can do better than this. We can do better than this. I love Belinda, man. I love her agitation and advocacy. And I'm sure that she is justified in her posture for being able to do that. I love her. But we have to stop playing politics in this country and do what is right. I feel like we're scheming, plotting, strategizing to be able to get our own way with the government of the Bahamas. We got to go through so much. We have to do better than this. And if the irreverence continues, we're going to denigrate the entire process down to junk status. And politics in this country will be viewed as an absolute joke. I read an article today. I can read it when I come back. We can talk about this sort of the concept and idea of politics is a joke when we get back. After this, let me take this quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Cracking on my baby love, oh yeah. Flashback cracking, baby please come back. All the time I was a fool to leave you home all alone. Every night I was on the town, baby Sue and Mary Lou. All my friends try to tell me you got a good thing home, but you don't know. One of these days you'll understand what I'm saying to you is true. Flashback cracking on my baby love, oh yeah. Flashback cracking, baby please come back. Flashback cracking on my baby love, oh yeah. Flashback cracking, baby please come back. Oh yeah. Baby, please come back. Flashback cracking on my baby love, oh yeah. Flashback cracking. Baby, please come back. Come back. Now I'm feeling sad and blue. I don't know what to do. Now I'm home all alone, just thinking about you. Every time I walk around, all I smell is your perfume. You know it brought back memories. Now I'm feeling blue. Flashback cracking on my baby love. Oh yeah. Flashback cracking. Baby, please come back. Come back. Flashback cracking on my baby love. Oh yeah. Flashback cracking. Baby, please come back. Come back. On my own, I'm home alone with these memories that just won't erase from your warm and tender love. Sweet memories you left with me. It's in the past, I've got to make a new start, but you'll always be in my heart. We could be friends, you know I've had my chance, but life goes on and on. Flashback cracking on my baby love. Oh yeah. Flashback cracking. Baby, please come back. Come back. Flashback cracking on my baby love. Oh yeah. Flashback cracking. Baby, please come back. Come back. Oi, oi, oi.
Okay, guys, we're back, and we're just going to be talking about some things. I got another half an hour, some things we got to be able to knock out. Plus, today is my birthday. I shouldn't even be here, but anyway, praise Jesus, we're here. All right, I ain't got nothing to do except go on the top of the hill and try to make sure my thing's done. That's it. That's it. So let's be able to hit this and let's talk. Let's talk about whether or not we take government for a joke. I listened to some people's statistics, and like old people say, they must have was counting like spirit. There's an article in the paper this morning from Justice Neville Adderley, MB, right? Retired MB. Very short, very quick, right to the point. It's not to talk. I rarely write to the press, but I read something. I read with some dismay comments under the headlines "F&M must rethink strategy," allegedly made by the respected professor of the University of the Bahamas, UB, Dr. Ian Strawn, reported to Caitlin Barb, a November 27th edition of the Nassau Guardian. See, reportedly, Dr. Strawn concluded that in 2012 general election, because 155,928 total persons voted for the PLP received only 75,815, 80,113 persons voted against the PLP. I didn't read the whole story, you know. I didn't read Dr. Ian's story. But I don't know why this popped out to me today. I guess it's because it says Dr. Strawn's logic. And then Dr. Strawn didn't write it, so it popped out to me, and I read this. And so he goes on to talk about these things. He said, voted against the PLP. That's 155,928 minus 75,085 and 75,815. This is the article that he wrote. And then he goes on to talk about, he says, in the same article, Dr. Strawn omitted the point out of that if he were to apply that logic that he has, because of a total of 155,928 persons voted, and the Free National Movement received only 65,634 votes. 90,294 persons voted against the Free National Movement, if he applies that logic, which is 155,928 minus 65,634. Using Dr. Strong's logic, the same trend continues in the PLP. Not the FNM. The same trend continues the PLP, not the FNM. That they should win the PLP the next election. As a mathematician and a statistician at heart, I caution people from whom the public expects honesty. This is crazy that he said this. He quantified his position. He left his name to let you know that he's held in significant status. He let you see all the acronyms behind his name to let you know his established position of his commitment that he's made in this country. He let you know that you know my history. And by giving us information like this, it sways people in this direction to make them believe one thing or another. And then he says, as a mathematician and a statistician at heart, I caution people from whom the public expects honesty to be fair and transparent when analyzing statistics. Otherwise, the public may become suspicious of the writer's ulterior motives and dismiss the analysis altogether as being fatally flawed. That was it. That's all he said. I listened to some statistics from people who are supposed to be renowned in the space of numbers, numeric geniuses. And I listened to their statistics make justification of the fact that the FNM has a chance in the next general election because we believe out of this hat with the Mad Hatter wears from Alice in Wonderland, that we will pull out the hope, the great hope, whether white, pale, or some other hue, the great hope for the Free National Movement to be able to revive them to win the next general election. I'll use Justice Adderley's posture and position. I caution people from whom the public expects honesty to be fair and transparent when analyzing statistics. Otherwise, the public may become suspicious of the writer's ulterior motives and dismiss the analysis altogether being flawed, fatally flawed. I look at this and I realize that your affiliation, your desire to be able to become extremely chummy with a political organization has skewed your view. I don't mean Dr. Strong. I mean those people collectively who've been speaking about these numbers in the light that the PLP should be afraid. What the hell the PLP got to be afraid of? The FNM has no motivation, they have no momentum, they have no insight, they barely have leadership, they don't know what they're doing, their infighting is significant, they've just lost 2 by-elections, their leader, their former leader, who is the proverbial and identified emperor of the Free National Movement, has come out, and he, who would have served him for some time in the person of Brent Simonet, has followed up when the emperor came to the forefront. All with a desire to be able to spin the narrative to indicate that the Free LP need to be afraid. the whole time. Donors are still indifferent about what they're doing. Internal conversations are happening in the Free National Movement as to whether or not what we're going to do with this new leadership. They are now vetting other persons internally without the formal aspect of being able to have leadership. No, they are vetting. There are small groups and contingents of persons vetting other persons for leadership. I'm telling you, this is what is flipping happening right now. Because it happened when Cecil was there. They vetted Hubert Ingram. There was a small grouping that came together and vetted Hubert Ingram, prepared him and presented him accordingly. Like a pitch deck. They pitched him to the body and they chose this particular person. Come on, man. The same thing has happened. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new. In the midst of the defeat that Michael Pintard has had in the Free National Movement over the course of the last two by-elections. The only victory that Michael Pintard would have had over the past 4 years, was the victory last year that he had in June. That was it. It was a victory that he could relish in, that everyone sought to take a slice in. I help you win. I thank God for me. I help you win, boy. That is the closest he would have been able to come to victory. Egg has been on his face with the last two by-elections. Egg. And the Free National Movement has taken on this posture to try to be able to spin the narrative and be able to contort the numbers. They actually molding these numbers into something different, into something unrecognizable. This is simple stuff. Simple stuff. And like the writer said, Justice Adderley has indicated, if we're using this particular logic, because I got the article right here, I start to read it and I read the whole thing. Dr. Ian's article. He goes on in the article, November 27th, 2025. You can be able to see the article. It is in a reporter. You can be able to put it up. After the final results of the Golden Hours by-election showed more people voted against the PLP than for it, University of the Bahamas professor and scholar Dr. Ian Strachan said that the outcome could be an indicator of what's to come in the next general election. I would have stopped reading it right then if I had read this last week. That's probably why I read this. For you to be able to create this kind of a concept that more people, okay, if we go with this logic, this notion, this concept, this idea, you would say that 100% of the people in the country is PLP. And anyone who votes against the PLP, that's the issue that the PLP is having. We know that the PLP's base has been 40-some%. We know that the FNM base has been teetering between 35 to 40-some%. It's been teetering. The FNM base, as anything, has been chipped into significantly with the advent of the COI and the advent of the DNA. You have not been able to retain that portions of persons of the dissidents that has left you. And so if that equates to roughly 13% plus 8% is what? 21%. Right? Let's say it equates to about 11%. Okay? Let's do this. 10.5%. If those persons that left to be able to find themselves in this position, we can easily say that represents about 5% of your voting populace, your base, the Free National Movement's base. Okay? If you got 40, the PLP got 40, and 20% of people just hanging out there. And the DNA and the PLP, the DNA and the COI was able to capture 21% of the votes over the course of the last three general elections. That's not all of those disenfranchised persons. That's not all of those independent persons. That represents a portion, if you will, of the Free National Movement's base. And let's be modest. If we're calling it 10.5%, let's cut the 10.5 in two and give them 5.25%. So the Free National Movement, as a result of the advent and the introduction, the development and the execution of the COI and the DNA, has lost 5.5% of their base, which was already teetering at 37%. You lost 5.5% of your base. Now, the beauty of this is once you get motivation, once you get energy, once you get new vision, those people are always coming back to you. They're just floating for now. This logic is indicating to us, Dr. Ian Straughns, that 100% of the country has to be PLP. That's what this is saying to me. Call me if you think that I'm wrong. Text me if you think that I'm wrong. If we apply this logic, if you can say that X amount of percentage vote against the PLP or voted against the government, that's the assumption that 100% of the persons supported the government in the first place. They did not support the government. And so when we look at these particular things, I agree with them. I agree with their posture. I agree with their position. We cannot go around continuing to be able to say, oh, these numbers aren't bad. The Free National Movement has a great opportunity. There's great things that's going to happen when it comes to the next general election. The Free National Movement still have a chance to win. Now, that could be true, but it cannot be off these numbers. It could be true, but it cannot be off of these numbers. You've done everything to rally your base and you still haven't done that. You've tried it in West Grand Bahama by being able to the one thing, the nostalgic thing that always bring people forward is Hubert Ingram. You tried Hubert Ingram in West Grand Bahama. You tried Hubert Ingram in Golden Isles, and you still was not able to get over the mark. Hubert Ingram helped your defeat. You didn't identify nothing new, nothing fresh. You didn't identify anything. You didn't try to figure out who Hubert Ingram used to rally support. You just going back to Hubert Ingram. And so he elevated and came to the position, came to the forefront. But you're not using your brains. You're not. And if we're looking at this particular logic, the PLP owning, like the Prime Minister said to you, he's not out here talking he's talking to his base. Then you hear the chairman of the organization of the PLP. He said PLPs and people of goodwill. That's secondary. That's secondary. The initial person that we're talking to is PLPs. They always keeping their base intact. Always. While you out here trying to be able to cater to the masses. The only thing that the PLP has done and continues to do is to cater to their base. And they make themselves so attractive that you gravitate towards becoming a part of their base. They're not soliciting you. They're not trying to convince you. They're only presenting to their base with attractivity, with energy. And it is exciting. And you consider, I think I should join the PLP. These numbers need to stop. This manipulation socially needs to stop. This convincing because of your elevated position needs to stop. Hubert Ingram has done it. Brent Simonet has done it. Shivago Lang has done it. Ian Straughn has done it. And anyone else who seeks to be able to make you believe that these numbers are an indicator. These have not indicated this in the past. There is nothing but relentless deflection. And this is why people are taking our politics for a joke. Don't be like Ralph Gonsalves. Don't be like them. Don't do that. And I'm not talking about leadership or who ain't in leadership or whatnot. That was a representation of an archaic era that was over. And they ousted him. Like the former Prime Minister, Perry Gladstone Christie. They didn't reject They didn't reject the PLP. No one rejected the PLP. You see, they won right after. They rejected the leadership of a man who no longer has the vision to take the country forward. And this is the fear that I have with Michael Pintard. If he continues to consume himself with these small fires, he'll never be able to get to the point of executing the vision that he has for the country. Well, guys, that's the show today. We're going to leave it right here. Tomorrow, we're going to be able to dive a little bit deeper. Let me see if I can bring somebody in the studio. I made a couple calls. I never gotten anything back. And so I was considering whether or not I should be able to come today, given the fact that it's my birthday. Guys, enjoy your birthday today. Oh, I'm sorry, me. Enjoy my birthday today, all right? Enjoy my birthday, hey? While you're out there and you're eating your conch salad and drink, enjoy my birthday. Enjoy yourselves, man. We're going to see you tomorrow, God's Spirit, our lives right here on The Foundation. Have a great day, guys.